Another 2 minutes to join others. So you must have received the presentation as well as that audio lecture files or function, all this thing, right? So today I'll be taking mostly that doubt clearing things. If I have any doubt, any particular topic that those are covered till date, so I'll take up those doubts. So I request you, if anyone have any doubt, please write in the chat box because I cannot unmute or because there will be a lot of noise. So please come up with your doubt in that chat window. Once I get the doubt, I will unmute him or her to speak. Okay, someone has asked, please, sir, please explain two-dimensional array. Okay, you have that presentation with you. So two-dimensional array is nothing but it is like a matrix. It has a row and a particular a row and column. So why it is called two dimension? Because it has two dimensions only, row and column. That is why it is 2D array or two-dimensional array. So what is the basic difference with the one-dimension array? One dimension has only single dimension. That is, you can say it is a row. It is just like a chain. But the two-dimensional array, it is represented as a matrix. The main advantage of two-dimensional array over one-dimensional array is that we can do some uh, more practical work using this two-dimensional array. For example, if we want to store the matrix, say if we want to store a matrix, in that case we need to use the two-dimensional array because one-dimensional array cannot store the matrix form. Similarly, if we want to store the pixel value, a pixel means in that image processing things, for every image it has a pixel level. So to store the pixel value, we will be using this two-dimension array. So whenever there is row and column concept, we should use this two-dimension array. And also in the case of a string, you are already aware of the string. So in case of storing a string or a means more than one string, we should be using the two-dimension array. For each of the string will be stored in a one-dimension array or in a particular row, and this two-dimension array can be considered or can be stored in the memory in the one-dimensional form. For each of these rows will be stored one by one if it is a row measure thing. Or if it is a column measure thing, in that case, every column will be stored in the memory in a one-dimensional fashion. So memory is not a two-dimension or three-dimension or n-dimension. Memory is always one-dimension thing. So whatever array we are considering, it is a two-dimension or be it a three-dimension, four-dimension, all these will be converted into one-dimension form. But for the better representation, we have used this data structure, two-dimensional array. Any other question? Is it clear, right? Two-dimensional array. Okay. Next thing, if you have any basic doubt from the C thing, loop, array, if else, all these things you can ask, because this class is mainly for the doubt clearing thing. And whatever lecture I need to give, I'll record it and share the audio file along with the presentation. So please go through those audio files. Every topic is explained over there. Still, you have any doubt, you can ask in this class. See, insertion short is not there. It is in the.
হ্যাঁ একজন বলছে ইনসারশন শর্ট নিয়ে প্রবলেম আছে।
Sorry.
একজন বলছে ইনসারশন শর্ট নিয়ে প্রবলেম আছে, চ্যাটে বলেছে।
Insert, yes, I'm coming to that. Insertion short is not there in the C language syllabus. It should
স্যার
be there.
প্র্যাকটিক্যালে তো করাচ্ছে।
It is not there in the theory.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
This is theory class. This insertion short will be covered in the data structure, which is there in the next semester. In the sorting things, you can just cover go through the bubble sort.
আচ্ছা।
There are altogether 8 sorting methods. All this cannot be covered in the C language thing. Any other question? See, don't mix up with this theory and the lab. Theory is that C language theory class. It is not the lab. So lab assignment you can discuss in the lab class. Everyone facing the same problem? Because I can hear you clearly.
ঠিক আছে, শুনতে পাচ্ছি। কেউ কেউ হয়তো নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেম হচ্ছে কারোর কারোর।
That is common nowadays.
হ্যাঁ।
So any other question? You don't have any question from those if else, for loop and basic concept. All these are clear.
স্যার ক্লিয়ার আছে, বাকিদের জানি।
See, this is the chance that you can ask about your doubt and get those clear. Otherwise, it will be very difficult going forward. So, Sears, do you have any doubt or any particular topic
না
you
স্যার
want?
ঠিক আছে, এমনি কোনো ডাউট নেই।
Okay. Everyone? What about others? Because I saw a lot of doubts you have in the basic things. In this WhatsApp messaging group. But now no one is coming up with the doubts.
হ্যাঁ সেটাও
How-
ঠিক।
Shall I consider that you don't have any doubt?
Hello, sir.
স্যার একটু হ্যাঁ ওই যে আচ্ছা
Yes, tell me.
Sir, in that character array thing which has just come, is it in our syllabus right now in C theory?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I am confused about that null character part only. Means that
Null
if suppose,
character. Hmm. Any
suppose,
other
sir,
thing?
null character, I have only confusion about the null character. Means sometimes I have to specifically write that this is null character, and sometimes suppose that function, that what was it, getters function, I don't have to give any null character. I can just uh, put over there. Sorry, I mean put s in the put s
Okay.
function. Even if I can, if I just write in double quotes the string, it will work perfectly fine.
Okay. The very basic thing. Very good point you have pointed out. See, let me tell you the very basic thing about the string. What is a string?
Yes,
String is a array of
correct.
characters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Array of characters. Additionally, it has a special feature that it will end with a null character. What is a null character? \0.
Backslash.
Who inserts this null character? It is the C compiler who inserts this null character.
Yes, sir.
If you are using or storing the string inside a double quotation, in this case the null character will be automatically inserted at the end. For example, if you are storing a string within double quotation, the string is say A, B, C, D.
Yes.
How many characters are there? 4 characters. A, B, C, D. And compiler will insert null character which is \0 at the end of this whole string, which is ABCD. So after D, it will insert the null character. It will
Yes.
be automatically inserted when you are using double quotation. This is very important. When you are using double quotation, this null character will be automatically inserted. Now, if you are using character array, simple character array, char, array name is say A, and the size is say 5. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How many characters you can store in this array? Total 5 characters.
5 characters.
Now, if you are storing A, B, C, D, how to store a single character in a particular array? Using the single quotation. If you are storing character by character or the element by element in this character array, then you should be using single quotation A, B, C, D. In this case, you need to provide this null character which is \0 explicitly, because compiler won't insert this null character for you, because you are storing character by character in the array. You are not using double quotation. In this case, you need to provide this null. So it is always good practice, if you are using a string, then use the double quotation, because sometimes you can forget. Yeah, it is
Yes,
clear,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
This one is clear to me. Then after that, I can even do this. Suppose I have a character array, char a, then that square bracket. Then after that equals to. I can even write the in double quotes any string. Then the \0 will automatically inserted.
Come again. Once again, I could not follow you.
Means if suppose I'm initializing character array by just directly writing in double quotes, then at that time \0
Mhm.
will get added on.
Correct. It will be
And sir,
automatically installed.
if
The
I'm just
thumb rule is that if you are using double quotation, you no need to
anyway,
insert \0.
okay, sir.
Okay.
And sir, if I do not insert the \0 in that character array, what will happen if I do some string manipulation?
It will not be a string. So if it is not a string, then you cannot do the string manipulation. All
Oh,
those
so that
string and all
then
these
an
things
error will come out.
will not work because it is not a string. It is a character array
Okay, sir.
because no \0 is there. So it is simple character array, just like integer array or float array.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the next question I'm saying prototype of a function. Prototype is just the declaration of a function. You can say just like you declare one variable int I or char c. This is the declaration of a variable. Why you need to declare a variable? Just to reserve some memory space in the memory. So this is the utility of the declaration. The same thing holds good for the function as well. Before using the function, you need to declare that function. This function declaration is called the prototype declaration. So prototype declaration, the basic minimum things for the prototype declaration is that return type of the function, function name, and the argument list data type of the arguments. For example, if I want to use some add function, add, which will return some integer value, and it will accept two integer variables. So prototype will be int, then name of the function, which is add. After that bracket, within the bracket, you need to write int, comma, another int, or int a, comma, int b. But this a and b, this variable name, they are not mandatory in the prototype declaration. So prototype declaration, just you need to declare the basic framework of the function, just like the other variable declaration.
স্যার
Mhm.
স্যার স্যার আমি বলছি যে ঋষভ ঘোষ ওয়েটিং রুমে ওয়েট করছে অনেকক্ষণ ধরে।
আমি তো লক করিনি, কি করে হয়ে গেল?
ওয়েটিং রুমে ওয়েট করছে, আপনি একবার করে দিন, অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিন, অ্যাডমিট করে নিন।
আনলক, রুম লক হয়ে গেছে, দাঁড়াও 1 মিনিট। অ্যাকসেপ্ট তো হচ্ছে না। ওকে, এসছে?
হ্যাঁ।
Okay. How this room got locked? I don't know. Okay, next question.
Is typecasting also in our syllabus?
The whole C is there in your syllabus.
Oh,
The whole C. This is the C programming.
okay, sir. So in typecasting, suppose if integer is if I'm converting explicitly and implicitly, that is confusing me. Number one part, that when will I know that it is explicit and when will I know it is an implicit typecasting?
In that case, you need to understand the basic meaning of this explicit and implicit. Then it will be very clear to you. Okay, let me tell you. What is an implicit? Implicit means it is automatic. What
Yes.
is explicit? You need to do this manually. No one will do for you. This is called explicit.
Yes,
So
sir.
when these implicit things happen, first of all, what is a typecasting? Typecasting means changing the variable
Data
type.
type.
This is typecasting. Suppose variable type is x and you want this variable to be of type y. This is called the type casting. Now, this what are the basic primitive data types? Int, char, all this thing. Okay.
Yes.
Suppose the variable is of type character. Fine. You want this
Yes.
to convert to integer. This will be automatically done. Why? Because this will be automatically done by whom?
Com-
By the compiler.
okay, sir.
Okay. And the reverse thing. If you want to convert some integer to a character,
Yes.
in this case you need to explicitly do this thing. How to do that thing? Before that variable name, within the bracket you need to type char. This is
Yes,
one
sir.
way. Okay. Another example could be, say, float and integer conversion. What is a float? Fraction number.
Yes, sir.
Integer is a whole number. Suppose integer number is say 5 and float number, I want this integer to be converted to the float number. This will be automatically done. That means implicit conversion. Is
Okay, so
anyone
it
waiting?
is implicit.
Is anyone waiting in the room? Don't know. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, so it is the implicit conversion. So integer to float is an implicit conversion. It will be automatically converted. The reverse is not true. Reverse, you need to explicitly convert. And during this conversion process, there will be some data loss. There could be some data loss, not always. When this data loss will happen? Suppose you are converting a bigger data type to a smaller data type. Then
Yes, sir.
there will be some data loss. Let me explain with a good example. Suppose you are staying in a 3 BHK apartment. You will have
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of furniture, all this thing. Now
Yes,
you
sir.
have asked to move to a 1 BHK. Then what will happen? You need
I
to throw
won't go.
some, yes, you cannot accommodate all your belongings there.
Yes, sir.
This happens if you convert a larger size data type to a smaller size data type. So there will be some data loss. On the other hand, if we are moving from a 1 BHK to a 3 BHK, there should not be any issue. Okay. Remember this analogy.
Okay, sir.
Any other question? Let me see the chat window.
So I have a doubt in this the string declaration there.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose I am declaring a character, a string variable like char a20 with 20 with suppose five spaces equals to null. I'm declaring initializing with null. Suppose as I said that char a, then within square bracket it is 5 equals to, I'm just giving only quotations, double quotations only. Then
Blank string.
yes, so then here, how this data will be allocated and what kind of data will be allocated, and will here be this, when will that null character will be present in this character
Definitely.
string?
Definitely. If you are not giving any characters, you are just giving a blank thing. You are just opening that double quotation and ending that double quotation. Even if there is no data, there will be a null character, \0. And the length of the string will be 0. If you use the strlen function, it will return 0. And I think most of you should have doubt regarding this null character and null. These two are different things, altogether different things. Don't use null in string. NU double L is a address. It is a address. Who can store the address? Pointer. Anyway, I'll be sharing this pointer lecture notes as well as this audio, most probably this by this week or maybe early next week. So this thing will be more clear to you. So null is a address location. It is 0, NU double L. When you declare a pointer, we should be initializing with NU double L, null. But if we are using a string, that is null character. That is a character, first of all. Just like A, B, C, D, space, backslash, all these are character. Just like those characters, null is a special type of character. It has a ASCII value of 0. That is called a null character. And every string ends with a null character. If it is not ending with a null character, then it is not a string. It could be something else. Mostly character array.
So I have one more doubt here that this when I'm declaring with this null character here, then with suppose with opening and closing that double quotation here, then where is this null this null character getting stored? Suppose I'm giving five characters.
At the last position.
The last position. Okay.
Yes. If the array size is 5 and you are storing 5 characters, then compiler will give the error. In the note you can find that presentation. If you are giving the maximum size as n, then at max you can store n-1 characters. And you should leave one character for storing this null value, null character. Who will insert? Compiler. So if you are declaring the size as 50, you can store at max 49 characters. And last character should be the null.
So I got that one. I'm having different doubt that when I'm initializing with when I'm initializing the string a string array with blank quotations, then at that point where this null character is getting positioned in the index, will it be 0 position?
First location.
Okay, in the 0th index.
Yes, 0th index.
And so,
because
hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, and what about the rest of the positions that the array have allocated? So since I have given suppose 5 position space, so it will in the memory it will allocate 5 position space. So what about the rest of the 4 position space? It's 5 position space.
It depends on the compiler. Some compiler actually allows this null character till the end. Okay. Suppose there are 5 positions and you have used only 2 positions. Then third position will hold the null character. And what about the 4th and 5th? In some compiler, it fills up those 4th and 5th position with the same null character. And some compiler will store the garbage. So it depends on the compiler. Unix compiler normally stores the null character. Unix AIX, all this compiler. You can see all this, though it will be an advanced topic. If you try to use the GDB is a debugger. Yes. If you are using the GDB, then you can see all this thing. But in case of DOS, the TurboC, it normally stores the garbage. Borland C normally initialize with the null characters, the rest of the positions.
So, suppose in normal DOS compiler, I have just initialized a character with suppose null with if nothing in the brackets and double quotation. So if I now try to print suppose it is a 5 character string. So now suppose I'm trying to print the third position without entering anything, then it will print a garbage value there.
That's why I've told na. It could print garbage value or it could print the null character. Null character is not a printable character, first of all. So you will not be able to see anything.
Yes, sir.
All the
Yes.
characters are not printable. There are few characters which are non-printable. It cannot be printed. Null character is one of them.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Two-dimensional array I have already explained.
So the loop part,
Mhm.
loop, the loop part,
Which loop? Which loop?
which is used in the 2D array.
Loop part means for loop. Okay. That loop part.
Yes.
Okay. How many dimensions are there in the? Good question. How many dimensions are there in the two-dimensional array? Or let me start with the first one-dimension array. Then it will be more clear to you. So one-dimension array has got only one dimension. So you to store some element in the array, you need to use only one array. It could be for or while or any other array, but you need to use only single loop for the one dimension array, and you can store element by element starting from 0th index to last index. Now if you are using two-dimension array, then you have got two dimensions, row and column. Now storing the element in a two-dimension array, you can use two methods. One method is called the row measure. Row measure means row by row you will be storing the element. And another method is the column measure. So column by column. So for the row measure, you will be storing the first row first, then the second row. In this case, you need to use two for loops. I'm considering only for loop at this point. So you need to use two for loop. One for loop for the row, another for loop for the column. And you need, as you are using two for loop, you need to use two loop index variable I and j. I will represent the row number and j will represent the column number. So for the first row, you need to increment the column because row number is fixed, first row. So in the first row, column number will be the variable thing. Suppose I am considering 3 by 4 matrix or 3 by 4 two-dimensional array. So there are 3 rows and 4 columns. For the first row, column number will be the variable thing. So column number will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we are using the index thing, then 0, 1, 2, 3. Like this way. So column number, row number 0, column number 0 is the first element. Row number 0, column number 1 is the second element. Row number 0, column number 2 is the third one. And similarly, the fourth one is column number 0, row number 0, column number 3. So the fixed part is the row number, which is 0 in all these four elements. Only the variable thing is the column number. Sometimes it is 0, sometimes it is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So in the for loop, in the outer for loop, you should be using the row number for the outer for loop. And for the inner for loop, it will be the column number. That's why you would require two for loops for the two-dimension array. Similarly, for the three-dimension array also, you would require three for loops. One for row, one for column, and third one for the third dimension, which could be height. Clear?
Sir, in the printf statement, if I'm suppose giving integer
Mhm.
as the suppose I'm supplying with integer, but in the format specifier I'm writing the mod c, then that is also a explicit typecasting.
Mhm. Come again, come again.
Printf statement, if I do that, that is also a explicit typecasting.
Yes.
Okay,
So
sir.
explicit and implicit typecasting you can use anywhere in the printf statement or even in the normal statement. Printf is the output statement. Without output also you can use in the program. Suppose, for example, uh, let me tell you, I am using two floating point numbers, float variables.
Yes, sir.
Say it is A and B. I'll do the addition, A plus B, and I'll store the result in a third variable, which is C. So the statement I can write C equals to A plus B. Now,
Yes,
if
sir.
C is again a float variable, then there should be no issue. But if C is a integer, then what will happen? Then typecast will happen. Okay. So in the typecast, you need to explicitly typecast with integer. So if you are explicitly typecasting to the integer, then this rounding things can happen. You know the rounding things, right? If it is greater
Yes, sir.
than 0.5, all this thing, then it will be converted to the whole number. All this thing can happen. Again, that is a data loss.
Yes, sir. And sir, in the scanf statement, that ampersand that I'm using, is that the bitwise AND operator?
Address. That is
Address
the
operator.
address operator.
Means why I'm doing that address thing? Means I'm getting that memory address.
Yes. Suppose you what this scanf do? What this scanf does, actually, this scanf does the very basic thing, storing of the value for a particular variable.
Yes, sir.
So why you should store this value? In some memory location only. That's why
Yes.
ampersand, that particular variable name, will give the address of that particular variable, and the
Yes, sir.
data or the value will be stored in that in that address. That's why this
Okay.
ampersand is used.
So that means that if I write ampersand before an identifier name, then it will be acting as an address of operator. But if I use it before some literal data like 12, 13 character C, then at that
Mm.
time it will work as an bitwise operator.
No, you cannot use this ampersand before a constant number or literal. Literal constant is also a literal. Constant means, say, 12. 12 is a integer number which is a constant. You
Yes,
cannot
sir.
write ampersand 12. But ampersand is a ampersand is also an operator. What kind
Yes,
of
means
operator?
it is
Binary
binary
operator.
actually. So I need to write ampersand in between two datas.
Correct. It is a binary operator. So there should be two operand. If it is in
Yes.
between two operand, then it will act as a AND operator. Otherwise, it will act as a address with a single variable. Any other question?
No, sir.
See, the basic things should be very clear. Don't hesitate to ask the basic thing. You need to get the basic thing cleared. That is the motto. So don't hesitate. If you don't ask, then I will consider that the basic all these things is clear. You don't have any doubt. Then the next day you should not come up that we have not understood anything. These two statements are contradictory, na? So ask as many questions as you can, because every week we'll have this class, this doubt clearing. In any class you can ask your doubt.
Yes, sir.
And please go through that audio lecture very carefully, as well as that presentation, that PDF file that I have shared. The concept is explained in that audio lecture. I am sharing in your group email, that common email that you are using. Also share, they are working very hard. I'm not sharing in that web, WhatsApp group, because most of you will get confused.
হ্যাঁ স্যার ঠিক আছে
Yeah, that's why I'm using that common Gmail.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
And also you can get this in that Google Classroom. I think
হ্যাঁ
share
ক্লাসরুমে
you
আপলোড করে দিই হ্যাঁ
good.
আপলোড করা থাকে
If you have net connectivity issue, all this thing, then you can go this offline. No more question?
So for right now, no more question is coming in mind. This much was my problem.
Good. So you got all the answers, right? I think it is Sahil, right? Okay. If no more question, then we can conclude this class. Final call. Is there any other question?
হচ্ছে না
Okay, then we can conclude. Thank you.